Hello, and welcome to another detailed paranormal production. Today, we provide the paranormal details of the showplace of Cleveland, the awe-inspiring yet infamous Franklin Castle. This isn't just another hyperbolic ghost story. It is a realistic examination of the complex tapestry that was one man's architectural ambition, familial tragedies, and the personal archives of the legendary Dr. Hans Holzer. As always, we eliminate inane folk tales and puerile sensationalism. Detailed Paranormal concentrates solely upon the essentials, accurate histories, and the unvarnished paranormal details. From the spirits effectuating the hauntings, arcane Nazi intrigues, to a man so frightened he fled, sporting only his jockeys. Franklin Castle is situated near Lake Erie in Ohio. As such, we will be presenting several short films throughout our presentation, displaying the Ohio coast, the vast tranquil waters of the lake, and the city itself. Details of the Franklin Castle on Franklin Boulevard. The land was once the heart of the Avenue, an elite stretch of Cleveland's west side. In the mid-1800s, before the limestone rose, the lot housed a simple barn and a sprawling rose garden. But the land sat on a coveted high ridge overlooking Lake Erie, a prime location for a man with a vision. That man was Hannes Tiedemann, an assiduous German immigrant who built a fortune as a grocer and banker. He purchased the lot in the 1880s not just to build a home, but to announce to the world that he was a success and to create a grand, welcoming place for fellow German immigrants. Construction began in 1881 and was completed in 1883. Tiedemann commissioned the prestigious Cleveland firm Cudell & Richardson to design the home. Many Cudell & Richardson structures are listed in the U.S. National Register of Historic Places. The result was a masterclass in Victorian Queen Anne style with Gothic and Romanesque influences. The details are staggering. A rock-faced limestone exterior, over 20 rooms, a dozen fireplaces, and a signature round corner tower. Inside, Tiedemann installed a massive fourth-floor ballroom and a labyrinth of hidden passages and false panels. While historically these were used for servant access and ventilation, they would later become the focal point of dark rumors regarding hidden victims and secret political meetings. Details of the Franklin Castle curse. The curse of the castle began almost immediately. Within a decade, Hannes Tiedemann's adored daughter Emma passed away, then his mother, and later 3 other children followed. Subsequent to the death of his beloved wife Louise in 1895, a severely bereaved Tiedemann sold the mansion. It then entered a series of rather discordant chapters. In 1896, the Mulhauser brewing family took ownership, but by 1921, the house became the headquarters for the German-American League for Culture, where they kept a large library. During this era, neighbors reported sounds of German singing and anti-Nazi political rallies. Darker legends report the house was used for Nazi espionage or as a site for the political executions of 20 anti-Nazi German nationals. Although no official records confirm the massacre. Incidentally, the photo currently on the screen purportedly reveals a spirit in the lower right corner of the mirror above the fireplace. At the time the photograph was taken, the only person in the parlor was the photographer. Details of Dr. Holzer's investigations. Between 1960 and 1975, the father of modern parapsychology, Dr. Hans Holzer, conducted multiple investigations. Uncharacteristically, Holzer kept these files private, describing the site as a frightful place filled with souls. He and one of his trans mediums, Ethel Johnson Myers, identified a specific cold room on the third floor that defied logic. Holz's team faced terrible technical difficulties. Their audio tapes were repeatedly jumbled or even erased completely by an unseen and pernicious force. Further, he documented a spirit named Karen, likely a Tiedemann relative. Holzer subsequently recorded a séance so intense and vocally execrable that he felt the contents were far too shocking for public release at the time. During his investigations, Holzer utilized two trans mediums, Ethel Johnson Myers and Sybil Leek. Between the two talented mediums, a treasure trove of paranormal information was garnered from the other side of the veil. Details of transmedium communication. Information that was once hidden was revealed to Holz's mediums. The spirits disclosed that there were two murders within Franklin Castle. The first was the murder of a young girl. Holzer extrapolated that one of the central spirits haunting the mansion is a 13-year-old girl named Karen. The spirits explained that Karen's death, which occurred in the third-floor ballroom, was staged to look like a suicide when it actually had been a murder. There are several possible reasons for the deed. However, information provided by various spirits suggests that Karen was Hannes Tiedemann's illegitimate daughter. While we don't like to deal in conjecture, the evidence indicates Karen may have been the result of an illicit affair that Hannes Tiedemann had with a servant. If indeed true, the killing was likely to prevent Karen from revealing the truth. In the 19th century, such intrigue would have devastated the good name and fortune of Tiedemann. The second murder was that of Rachel, a servant girl. Rachel worked for the Tiedemann family. Over time, Hannes Tiedemann had fallen in love with the beautiful young servant girl, but his love was unrequited. Rachel was engaged to be married. It is believed Hannes took Rachel to the tower to have a discreet conversation concerning his amorous feelings for her. When Rachel explained that she had plans to marry another man, Hannes became enraged and strangled her to death. This would explain why visitors have a feeling of constriction around their throats when entering the tower. Over the decades, the tower was given the epithet of the Choking Tower. There are repeated reports of visitors to the tower hearing a woman gasping or suffocating. Details of audio evidence. Much has changed since the 20th century. Modern investigators revisited Holzer's private notes. Their most substantial breakthrough was the restoration of a 50-year-old jumbled recording from Holzer's 1960s sessions. Utilizing modern audio isolation methods, engineers revealed a previously hidden voice, a clear EVP that Holzer's 1960s gear with its 20th century technology couldn't distinguish from background static. A young woman was now clearly heard crying desperately. She was also heard to say, "Help me, Daddy." Was this Tiedemann's daughter Emma, or was it Karen? Either way, the voice confirmed that the house wasn't only haunted by the Tiedemanns, but by other spirits and their energetic residue. The 21st century investigators also confirmed Holzer's sightings of the woman in black, tracking her movements to the very same windows Holzer had marked in his maps decades earlier. Details of a new owner's evidence. The most compelling physical evidence was uncovered in the 1970s, when the then-current property owner, Sam Muscatello, was searching for secret passages. Muscatello discovered a false panel within the tower. Inside was a pile of actual human bones. Forensic tests indeed confirmed they were decades old, dating back to the mansion's earliest years, when Hannes Tiedemann occupied the mansion. This find aligned with stories of the infamous choking tower, where guests frequently report a smothering sensation. Most famously, radio host John Webster, who was invited by Muscatello to broadcast his discoveries, had his heavy tape recorder physically snatched from his shoulder and thrown down the stairs. He watched as it smashed into pieces during a live segment, an event witnessed by multiple crew members. A new family arrives. Details of the Romano family's time in the mansion. The Romano family, James, Sharon and their 6 children, occupied the mansion from 1968 to 1974, initially intending to turn the mansion into an Italian restaurant. However, the atmosphere was so oppressive at Franklin Castle, it eventually drove the family from the seemingly cursed structure. The experiences began immediately. On the day the Romanos moved in, the children asked their mother for an extra cookie for their new friend, who was crying upstairs. The children said that their new friend wouldn't stop weeping and was wearing an old-fashioned white dress. The children's new friend often joined in the children's games. The new weeping friend is identified as Emma Tiedemann. Emma was the eldest daughter of Hannes and Louise Tiedemann. She died in the mansion at 15 of complications related to diabetes. Then the family began to be awoken by deeply dramatic organ music that filled them with a foreboding, despite the fact that the family did not own an organ. Heavy, disembodied footfalls resonated, but always from above. Disconcerting sounds of phantom-breaking glass emanated from everywhere and nowhere simultaneously. But broken glass was never discovered. On one evening, after the children had gone to bed, they felt an imperceptible force ripping their blankets from their beds. This frightened the children, so they ran to their parents' bedroom. But halfway there, they were stopped in their tracks. Manifesting between their room and their parents was a luminous green mist slowly descending toward the first floor. The children watched in fascinated horror as the mist floated away. On another evening, Mrs. Romano suddenly awoke to herself, sitting on her bedroom floor, screaming uncontrollably, along with a phantom person beside her. She had no memory of getting out of bed or why she'd been screaming. The family often discovered coffee beans arranged in odd patterns or moved from the kitchen into other rooms. Personal items were often discovered in strange places, not where they had been placed initially. The Research Society and the failed exorcism. Desperate for help, the family contacted an Ohio psychical research team. During their short investigation, one of the members quickly left the mansion, refusing to explain the reason. Other members followed shortly thereafter. The family had but one alternative. They requested a local Catholic priest to perform an exorcism. He allegedly declined. The priest ostensibly had one last piece of advice for the Romanos. In 1974, the Romanos' family priest strongly advised them to vacate the mansion. They heeded that advice. Mrs. Romano believed she had been haunted by Louise Tiedemann, and that the weeping girl in the white dress was the Tiedemann's daughter, Emma. Today, the magnificent Franklin Castle remains a private residence, yet the paranormal activity persists. After a devastating fire in 1999 nearly destroyed the structure, the spirits defiantly remained, even through the extensive restorations. The arsonist later stated that he had to set the fire because he believed that the castle was pure evil. It was quite arduous for the construction workers to make significant progress with their restoration efforts. as there were numerous reports of paranormal activity from various contractors. Amusingly, after the fire, the owner engaged a caretaker to oversee restoration operations. One evening, as he readied himself for bed, he began to hear violent door slams. Then, the unusually loud, desperate cries of an infant. He was so horrified that he fled the mansion, clad only in his jockeys. Carpenters and stonemasons alike disclosed experiencing everything from the distinct sensation of being observed to the terrifying resonating sounds of a phantom infant sobbing reverberating throughout the mansion. Contractors frequently reported their tools would vanish, only to be discovered in different rooms or even other floors. Reports of power tools refusing to function or behaving erratically were not uncommon. Even more aggressive paranormal activity was reported. Doors would violently slam shut when workers were attempting to enter. Often, doors would remain unopenable for hours. As such, workers would be forced to remove door hinges just to access the room. To this day, visitors still report the woman in black staring from the turret and the sound of Emma's weeping echoing from inside the walls. Holzer called the Franklin Castle a reservoir of souls. After reviewing the details, it seems the castle is not only a record of energy absorbed from the various people who lived within its ornate walls, it is a place of refuge for the souls of those who refuse to relinquish their former identity. Thank you so much for watching this detailed paranormal production. If you found these details interesting, like and subscribe for more. Until next time, remember to visit Detailed Paranormal for every paranormal detail.